these Deprived games.
And welcome back to the Superpod Gamers Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, John, also known as John B. the Tank.
And good evening, guys. My name is Matt, also known as Thackum.
And I'm Justine, also known as Lucky Shot J.
And guys, we're going to jump right into it today with something kind of interesting. You know, we've been talking about it for the last few months about, a lack of developers headed to Nintendo. And as it seems, Unity has paired with Nintendo, and they're bringing 50-plus games over to the platform.
That's actually pretty good news, considering Nintendo's been lacking on the game front lately. I want to see what they're going to bring into it, because Unity is mainly a indie game engine. And does that mean that Nintendo's finally really getting into the indie game part of things?
I think it would be really good to have Nintendo open up that market and actually bring these, this whole category of gamers in that haven't been there before. But it's also cool to think, too, that in the Unity engine, the people behind Unity, have also worked with, bigger names, too.
This opens the question, though, because we've heard a lot in the past about indie developers having problems developing for one system or another system. A lot of indie developers, or developers in general, have problems developing for the PS3. A lot of indie developers had problems with Xbox because of the cost of updating your game, which was done away with. But even after that, people had, a sour taste in their mouth and didn't want to go back. Now, Nintendo, is it going to be easy to develop for that console?
Well, I really think that it's going to put it higher up on the list, partly because Unity is a multi-platform tool. They already have developers that are making for the PS3, PS4, Xbox 360, and the Xbox One at this time. So I definitely think it would create, one layer where everybody could just make everything the same. But also, too, it provides developers a really good source because Unity also creates for iOS and Android operating systems.
Yeah, that'll definitely open up front in the sense that we may see some games that are already on mobile devices coming to Nintendo and utilizing that touchscreen on their controller. A lot of games, like maybe the touchscreen Call of Duty games that used Unity, and maybe some other game. I don't know what other mobile games really use Unity. Any bigger ones, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Maybe we'll get Flappy Bird on the Nintendo, because we all know their pipes look like they came from a certain Nintendo game. So.
There has to be some infringement there. But alright, in movie news, we found out that Dwayne Johnson is released to do the new Hercules movie that's being put out by MGM and Paramount. It's going to be directed by Brent Ratner, sorry. He was the director behind Rush Hour and Red Dragon. And I'm really excited about this. I think he'll do a good job.
It's kind of just weird to see, Dwayne Johnson in that light. He doesn't normally play. I mean, yeah, he's in action movies.
He played the Scorpion King.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
That's kind of as close as you can get to Hercules without being Hercules. Scorpion King was like a mixture of Hercules and Conan the Barbarian.
Yes,
so, he's going to look like the Scorpion King, except he's going to be... What's Hercules? Greek?
Yes.
So he's going to look kind of Greek, except he's going to be Hercules. So...
He also has a full head of
I
hair.
can see it.
Mm-hmm. He does. He has a full head of hair, which is weird, because the last few movies we've all seen him in,
Yeah,
he looked shiny. Not just on his head, just everywhere. He was just shiny.
But he makes it look so good. Come on.
It's weird. It's true. Because if you look at pictures of him from like 5-6 years ago, only The Rock is able to make The Rock look like a wimp.
And I remember when we went to go see the last Fast and Furious.
Oh,
yeah!
Incredible.
And I said it a number of times, I still fully believe this, It's got to be CGI. Those things are not real. They're not.
No, you wish you had his
physique.
physique. You know it.
No, his
arms, he looks incredible.
There's bumps on his arms that should not even be
You
there.
can see every single
see
vein,
the strain every
it's just
muscle.
incredible.
That's the thing.
You
though,
sound like my mother when she went to see 300.
Oh, don't get me started on 300. I am so excited for 300 too. This wasn't even in the lineup for today, but I am so excited for 300 too. I haven't gotten to see it yet.
Speaking of things that weren't in the lineup, just to
So
backtrack
excited.
a little bit, did you hear Flappy Bird might be coming back?
I did hear that.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
He said due to the public outcry.
And he did come out with the true story of why he took it down.
What is that?
Basically, what happened was he said initially that it was ruining his simple life. Meaning, one day he had paparazzi showing up at his house. He had random people knocking on his door, people stalking him while he was going around. It really, in a sense, was ruining his simple life and kind of maybe putting him in danger because of his location and how much money he was making. So that's why he pulled it down. Now, I don't know if he's moving or if he's just decided, screw it all, I'm putting it back up, but he said it will be coming back eventually.
Well, he didn't say... He alluded to the fact that it wasn't going to be coming back immediately. You know, we're probably not going to see it for a few months.
Right. It'll be a little while. He's probably going to, take some of that money and move somewhere else that's a little safe and out of the spotlight and bring it back. I mean, it's a great game. I don't know why some people are so obsessed with it. It's an extremely difficult game. Maybe that's why, because a lot of gamers I know are masochists when it comes to video games. Like, in particular, you guys heard him on the show before, Chewy, or Arctic Lung. He does not enjoy a game unless it makes him want to rip his hair out.
He's almost obsessive about it, too.
Yeah, a little bit. He's like, I don't like this game. It was horrible. Like, why? He's like, it was too easy. Like, okay.
He needs to be challenged.
He does. And he's going to have a wife in the future that likes to beat him. So, and he's going to enjoy it.
You can't say that.
Thank you, ma'am. I have another.
So,
oh my god.
Just continuing along with some of our movie news. There's actually some news coming out of the pipe about what's going on with the Fast and Furious 7. And they're saying that Paul Walker is going to be CGI'd into the next movie.
I think that's the only way to do I keep saying this. The only way to do justice to him and his character,
right? Is because it wouldn't be right to replace him with another actor and refilm all the scenes.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be right to just suddenly end where he's in the movie and say, okay, this is what happened to him, and it wouldn't be right. Well, I don't know. I think they should have just killed him off.
Oh, stop it! The CGI characters that they're choosing, these actors are. There's 4 of them, and they're all going to be like composited based on their height, their body style, and how much they look like him to make it. In addition to the footage they already have.
Basically, it sounds like they've hired every stunt double he's had for the last few years and told him you're gonna act out his scenes and we're gonna replace your face with his with CGI.
Which, if it works, it works.
Hey, that's fine. If you saw Terminator Salvation, they basically brought back young Arnold to be the Terminator for the end of the movie. Spoiler alert. Movie's been out for a few years. You haven't seen it by now. You should punch yourself in the face. So, but that's an interesting idea to bring it back.
I think it's very creative. It's very creative of them to do that.
What I want to know is if there's any lines he never recorded, how are they going to solve that?
Voice actors.
Voice actors
who can mimic his voice?
Who could closely mimic, because there's no... unless they did some freaky stuff, taking like what he's already said in all of his movies, and then like taking blurbs that mix it all together.
They better get some damn good CGI artists then too.
I think we'll be impressed when they finally do.
When's it supposed to come out? End of this year?
I'm not sure. I can look it up.
I know it was essentially supposed to come out like April of this year.
Mm-hmm.
But
and then they moved it to June. I know that was the last time I heard.
Around June. I know they just finalized. I think they just finalized all the filming for it. So, we'll see what happens there.
So, an interesting bit of news is, when I say Christian Bale, what do you guys think of?
Batman.
So, what would I tell you if Batman may be coming to sell some iPhones?
Can I pause real quick? I just looked it up, and it says Fast and Furious is for early 2015.
Ah, son of a bitch.
So, they're making you wait again, and that will also have Dwayne Johnson, Jason Statham, Kurt Russell. Ooh.
Yeah, you didn't know about that?
No, I didn't. Oh, that's cool. Michelle Rodriguez, of course. Lucas Black. I'm trying to look for new people that I... Okay, that's the thing.
Not too many new people. A lot of the
Not too many new people, but it'll be an interesting mix of casts.
Yep.
That's always
and of
true.
course, our old fan favorite Vin Diesel will be back.
Oh, don't even. My honey.
What is it with everyone in Vin Diesel?
Oh,
have you ever seen that guy in real life? He is short.
I don't care. He's beautiful. Hey, stilts work. Shut up. Stop. That was the sound of me punching
that. I don't think he is gay.
No, he's not gay. He's married to a supermodel.
Yeah, he's not gay, dude. Unless he's really good at hiding
He's
it.
as gay as you are, so what's that say?
In fact, he's
answer
so
wisely,
gay,
honey.
he's playing a giant piece of wood
What?
in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Moving on.
I am Groot.
And that ends the terrible joke part of tonight's segment.
So, as it happens, Christian Bale is the forerunner to be in the Steve Jobs movie.
Mm-hmm.
The next biopic about Steve Jobs.
Batman sells
You may
iPhones.
have bought an iPod, but I created it.
Now, what's interesting about this to me is that both the director, who's David Fincher, and Christian Bale are just not the type of people that do these kind of biopics. These very calm movies. When we look at David Fincher's when we look at his report card, he's got Return of the Jedi, Temple of Doom. He's even done the Aerosmith music videos.
And Fight Club.
I
Did
just
you
came up
already
with the
mention
greatest
that?
idea ever for the picture for this episode. You should take a picture of Christian Bale and Photoshop
cool.
on a picture of Steve Jobs' glasses and turn Bill Gates into Bane.
This is doable, kids.
And now because it's on the air, it has to be.
Matt has to do it now. You will hold him to this.
This will be the most amazing internet meme ever if it gets out there.
Stay tuned, kids.
Windows 8 for everybody.
So what do we got next? You
Really?
went to see a movie.
I get to talk about Divergent now. Yay! I went to go see Divergent with my two best friends and my sister-in-law, and we all walked out of the theater going, oh my god. We were so excited to see this movie because we'd all read the books.
What is the general plot line of this movie? As
wow.
someone who's never even heard of it, without spoilers.
Without
what is the general
spoilers.
plot line?
Okay, without spoilers and without going too into it. It's this futuristic dystopian, sort of analogous to Hunger Games, but not in the same path. Like there's still the futuristic. They have not advanced weapons, but they have some weapons. It's the sort of the whole rebellion against the government theme that seems to be going on very prominently lately.
Okay.
The main characters, there's two of them, Four and Triss. Yes, I said number 4. They are very...
Fortress.
Okay, really? Okay, read the book. It's a very in-depth book, and I think the movie really did its justice by the book, except for a few parts where they meandered off the book hard lines. I'm a stickler for books and movies. Like, the movie needs to be to the T of the book. I can do that. And this really, really worked along with the book a lot. If you guys want to hear more of my opinions, I'm going to be working on a review, and that'll be out soon. And they'll announce it here. It should be up the next week. I need to get on that.
I'm working on a review, too.
Yes, you are.
Me and Matt went to go see a movie,
Yes, we did.
and it was fast.
Very fast.
And lots of petrol. And,
How did you become English?
Right?
and
You've been hanging out with
science
James too long.
bitch. And it was actually a lot better than I thought it'd be. Of course, we're talking about the new Need for Speed. If none of you have any idea what we're talking about, and if you don't, you need to watch more. So
Get
you
out of your
understand.
cave.
Right. Need to get out of that cave. James, I'm talking to you. So you need to get out of your cave and see more movies.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, I think the biggest surprise of that movie for me was that I didn't once see Jesse in it.
That was surprising,
You
too.
kept saying that.
The moment I saw him, he already had a different look on him.
Well,
He was wearing these different clothes than we're used to seeing him in. And the second he started talking and moving, you could just see someone else in him. Which is great, because that is some key elements to a good actor.
absolutely. You know, I think it's just because when we first met Jesse in Breaking Bad,
Mm-hmm.
you know, he was this kid. and we got to see this kid grow, right?
Right.
But no matter what, we still saw him as that kid in the beginning of Breaking Bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even at the end of it. And
Even when he wasn't, by far, he was not a kid anymore. He had definitely grown up
There was
by
a
the
point
end
where
of
he
that.
passed that threshold.
But
Yeah,
in
he was not a
comparison to
child
Walter
anymore.
White, he was always that kid, right?
Yes.
So
Hey,
it's
Mr. White!
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in this movie, you saw none of that. You saw none of that persona, and that's what I was really worried about. I really thought that they brought him onto this film because they liked his work in Breaking Bad, which they probably did.
Mm-hmm.
But he was able to personify a whole new character.
You were worried he was going to be Christopher Reeves typecasted
Yes.
because of the
Yeah.
role he played for so long.
And that's a good attribute of a good actor, is
Mhm.
being able to completely change
Absolutely.
your core acting style to fit more than one
Granted.
personas.
Granted, there are some actors, that's what they live for. You know, that's
Adam Sandler's.
Adam Sandler's always the same character. And that works for him.
Yeah, it does.
You know,
Not recently.
it absolutely
Well,
does.
In the past, it's worked. He's been the
That's a conversation for another day. We're going to get into that.
Okay. So one more thing I do want to say before we move on from Need for Speed. There's only one thing I really thought was impressive, which from a movie standpoint, you'll agree with me.
Mhm.
The fact that they used no CGI for
Yes.
any of these car accidents
yeah.
was really impressive and probably very expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was actually very well done.
I liked a lot of the first-person shots driving from in the car.
Yeah, and I
That
thought
was
that's,
new and creative.
that's really where they brought the game into the movie.
Right.
And I liked it. I think
Which
that
is
we need to
interesting
see-
because in Need for Speed you can't drive first person.
I think that
Unless you're playing shift.
I think that we need to see more of that. It's more immersive for the viewer.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Like I said before, you guys will see a review on that very soon. I wanted to go see it again because the first time I saw it, I admit I was not feeling the best when I went to see it. I didn't exactly pay attention to some things I should have. So I'm going to try to see it one more time, and I'm going to try to have that review done, hopefully before the next episode. Definitely before the next episode. And along with it should be coming the Titanfall review,
Absolutely.
which has been a little postponed because, as I mentioned in the last episode, my internet was a little derpy, and I wanted the full experience. I fixed my internet, and now it's working. So the review is in progress.
Nice. So we have an event coming up, very soon, and I'm willing to go as far as to say that this event is the staple of our show. You know, it's kind of what we started around. You know, and John, you know what I'm talking about here?
Echo 3,
Echo 3. You know, there's
the Electronics Entertainment Expo.
it's already
E3.
been almost a year. And it's really cool to start to see some of this stuff kind of leak out and what's going to happen. What's coming up at
OXN coming
E3.
out saying that Halo 5 is confirmed for the end of this year.
Exactly.
Microsoft coming out and saying they're all about games this year at E3.
And you know what? I think that
Sony coming out at GDC and announcing the VR headset, which we'll get into more
Mhm.
later.
So I definitely think that they really took into account the gaming community from last year.
Right.
And I understand, you know.
Because last year was mostly about consoles, and gamers were like, we want more games, but they don't understand that when you're coming out
Exactly.
with a console, they're trying to sell you the console too. So,
I'm really excited to see because last year was year of the next gen. Guess what? The next gen's here. What are they going to do with it now?
this year's the year of the next generation game.
You got it. And I'm really excited to see what they do.
Especially since we just watched that trailer for Assassin's Creed Unity.
Oh my gosh, the trailer for Assassin's Creed Unity.
Wow.
If you guys have
In
not
Justine's
seen
words while we were watching it, it looked like a movie.
It did. There was no way that was a video game.
It was all in alpha engine footage,
Yeah.
which means this is
It's
what you're
only
going
gonna
to
get
see
better.
while you're playing.
And it's only going to
It's
get
only
better.
gonna get better
as
because
they
it's
go
alpha.
through.
It's the pre-build of the full game,
Mhm.
Exactly. Guys,
which makes me think if that's the pre-build of an Assassin's Creed game, what are other games going to look like that are only built for next gen? Because the new Assassin's Creed is only built for next gen.
so what we're going to do for this, guys, we're actually going to put it on our website. Take a look. It's going to be a brand new area of our website, sleepdeprivedgamers.com/trailers, where we're going to start posting some of these new game trailers as they come out.
Absolutely, especially some of the big ones we talk about on the show.
Mm-hmm.
If we're experiencing it, we want you to experience it as well.
Mm-hmm. So once again, that's sleepdeprivedgamers.com/trailers. You can actually go there starting later this week, and those trailers will be there. And speaking about next gen, we had a discussion about what really makes a next gen and what's going to differentiate the Xbox 360, PS3 from the PS4 and the Xbox One. And I think that Sony is starting to take that next step because they just announced their VR headset.
They did, and surprisingly, Oculus is excited about it. And you know why? Because Oculus said the only thing that makes a true product good is competition.
Mm-hmm.
And with two competing forces in the VR community, which is actually something all fans should get excited about too, they're going to be competing to make the better product, which means they're always going to be improving. Which means whether you're a Sony fan or an Oculus fan, be happy, because good things are coming.
Part of this that's really exciting to me, especially as the user, is going to be, now Oculus is being seen as a real thing.
Absolutely. Since Ubisoft came out and said as soon as this thing sells 1 million units, we're gonna dedicate forces to it.
Exactly.
And could you imagine Eagle Vision?
Oh, being able just to look around.
Assassin's Creed with Oculus or the Sony product?
Yeah, I definitely think that'd be really cool. And, there's also rumors going around that Microsoft may be releasing their own.
Right. Well, actually, they're not really rumors. I believe Microsoft came out and actually confirmed.
They did confirm.
That they have been experimenting with VR for a little while. So, we will possibly be seeing something in E3, maybe not till next year. Chances are they're going to wait another year, try to perfect it, and then show it. That'd be the smart move to make, unless they kind of want to, show it this year and say it's not coming for, another year and a half, 2 years. Because that'd be the smart choice.
Mm-hmm. I just want to see something.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I just want to be able to say, okay, this is worth my time to be able to wait for. Why wouldn't I go invest with the Oculus Rift? Why don't I go invest in the the Sony virtual reality? Why is it worth my time to wait and hold out for the Microsoft VR?
Why is it worth all those teens buying the Oculus so they can watch virtual reality pornography?
It's just like real life.
Oh, Ryan.
That's not a teenager.
Oh, no, he's an old man.
And, other Microsoft news, and it's actually kind of cool. Microsoft finally reveals when Japan is going to be getting their Xbox One.
They did, along with, 26 total
26
locations?
other markets.
I thought it was 26 in total.
26 markets.
26 markets in total. Okay, so yeah, they're going to 26 other markets, and this may be a little bit of the boost that Microsoft needs to jump in sales a bit. Because though maybe these 26 markets weren't big enough to be priority at initial release, they're going to mean something for sales.
I think that they're really going to get that boost on the ground, especially
when they got Titanfall on their side.
Exactly.
Which, interesting, sorry to interrupt. Titanfall, just the bundle with the console, just dropped to $450 on Amazon.
Yeah. So, they've actually come out, they've announced it's coming out later this year in September.
Yep.
And I'm really excited. I can't wait to go play with some Japanese guys.
Me too! We're going to get our asses kicked. It's going to be excellent. So, there's a game that I bought last year.
Full of poop!
Full of poop! I gotta poop! I couldn't play it for about a week because it was an always online game. And those of you in the PC community know exactly which game I'm talking about. This game is SimCity. And they finally announced their offline mode, which I guess better late than never.
I haven't played Sims in ages.
Sims or SimCity?
I used to play Sims 1 and 2. I have all of the Sims 1. And I think I stopped collecting Sims 2 at... Wow, I don't even know.
I believe they're coming out with the Sims 4.
Really?
Mm-hmm, soon.
Yeah, I couldn't afford Sims 3, and I wasn't buying all of my games over again, so I still play Sims 2 occasionally.
Sims 4 will be available on Xbox One.
Oh, yay.
Matt will enjoy watching you play real life on TV.
I get to
Matt
waste...
will be like, oh, this will be my life soon.
I get to waste all of my time online.
Matt will be like, I'm going to be that little guy getting told where to go.
I love you, though.
So, our next topic would definitely be one that I'm pissed off about.
Oh, really?
So there's this game that everyone's been waiting for that finally came out called Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes, which I beat in an hour. And cost me $30.
My little brother played that game as well, and I think he beat it in like 3 hours. He said
Your brother's very bad at stealth games.
Why?
I beat it in an hour.
Well,
Someone beat it in 10 minutes. I'm bad at stealth games and I beat it in an hour. My friend's good at stealth games and beat it in 30 minutes.
was this Chewy?
Yes.
Ah.
Chewie is a masochist, though, so that doesn't count. But there are side missions you unlock that you can go back and play in the same area. I don't necessarily think it was worth $30, though. I think this would be a great $20 to $15 download-only game that you could have downloaded on the console, especially since this was the prologue to their game, where the full game is Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain, which apparently is 200 times bigger than this game, and comes out sometime around this time next year.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
basically,
think
we got a
that's just-
$30 demo a year before the game comes out.
I think that's just,
That sounds like they're trying to fund their game they're not done with yet.
I believe it. For somebody to be able to beat this game in 10 minutes,
That's insane.
that's ridiculous.
That's honestly insane.
It's also a waste of money.
That sounds to me like you paid $30 for 10 minutes of enjoyment, thought to yourself, I just beat this game in 10 minutes, went back to GameStop and said, I want my money back. Which I almost considered doing, but they wouldn't give me my money back.
10 minutes, man. You show them the time on the receipt.
Some people pay $300 for 10 minutes of entertainment, Ryan. But we're not going to get into the detail on that because some of those activities may be somewhat illegal. So
That was mean, too. That's mean. He listens to this. Sorry, Ryan.
no, it's okay. He only paid $200. So we're going to move on from there. What do we got left?
So, I really think that's it.
Oh, we do have one thing. Going to touch base on it a little bit. None of us really play it. But we do have someone who might be joining our crew soon who does play it. We do have Diablo 3. Came out with their new DLC. Or no, comes out tonight at midnight.
Mm-hmm.
And I do believe we actually had another game I just forgot about that I just saw on our list here.
Mario Kart?
Mario Kart 8. Which,
8 already?
yeah. Do you remember playing Mario Kart 64?
I remember playing Super Mario Kart.
I remember that, too.
Oh, yeah, there was a Super Mario. I used to think Mario Kart 64 was the first one.
Super Mario Kart, yeah.
Yeah, Super Mario Kart was the one that's like those arcade games where it's just kind of like a flat terrain. Your car kind of stays in the same place, but the terrain moves.
Mm-hmm. Remember that
It
game.
was wonderful.
And it was wonderful. It went from being that to now your cars have like anti-gravity wheels and are driving sideways on walls.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is crazy.
but it's Mario Kart, and everyone loves it. Almost as much as Super Smash Brothers. So, we'll see that soon.
No problem. Guys, once again, take a look at fleetdeprivedgamers.com this week. There's a lot of new content going up. We got our reviews for Divergent, Titanfall, and Need for Speed coming up. And fleetdeprivedgamers.com/trailers where you can get all those nice, juicy trailers.
And thanks for joining us, guys. I'm John.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Justine.
And I'm Bane.
And like always, stay sleepy. Game on.
Sleep deprived games.